Hey, my name's Michael Jones. I'm going to do an assignment for a NOS 230. This is the assignment for Microsoft Server 2008 versus Linux security. And this is my opinion on why Linux security seems to be better or has a reputation of being better than Microsoft security. And probably the primary reason is because of Windows being a closed source uh, operating system and Linux being an open source operating system. Uh, there's a lot of developers and people that are able to analyze the source code for Linux. So any kind of vulnerabilities um, that's in the Linux operating system is quickly identified, and people are able to provide patches um, to close those holes in a short amount of time. Whereas with Windows, it being a closed source operating system, only Windows developers have access to that source code. So they're the only ones that are able to provide patches to close those vulnerabilities. And the turnaround time, Microsoft only puts out critical patches once every 30 days, and sometimes it can go months before a vulnerability is patched. Another reason why Linux security is better than um, Windows security is the size of the footprint. There's much more lines of code um, incorporated into a Windows operating system rather than a Linux system. Um, in that code, and I wrote something about it in my comparison um, paper. Um, right here, one reason for the vast difference is the size of the footprints. Windows has such a large amount of features, code, ports, and other network resources that offer potential openings for attack. However, starting in 2008, Microsoft had decreased the footprint by making the platform more modular by allowing users the ability to install options. And then it talks about the open source and closed source. But basically, Linux is is more of a bare bones system. Um, so that coupled with it being open source, having more eyes look at the software to discover those vulnerabilities, it turns out to be um, a safer operating system to use. And finally, um, Windows is more vulnerable because it's more popular. Um, with it being more popular, people have a better chance of um, using their vulnerabilities uh, to their benefit by developing some kind of malicious code for a Windows system. Additionally, um, because Windows is so easy to use, most users of Windows aren't as computer literate as people that use Linux. Linux, in my opinion, um, is daunting to use um, with all the commands and the command line interface. Um, so most novice computer users, such as myself, uh, shy away from Linux and stick to what's easiest to use, which is Windows. And because um, of my illiteracy with computers and operating systems, it makes me more of a prime target for the malicious code than if I was using Linux, then that would be an indication that I was a more advanced computer user. So in my opinion, that's why Linux seems to be a more secure operating system than Windows. Thank you.